Hello everyone, back tuning in to our Sunday afternoon live stream. Thank you so much everybody for being with us this afternoon. So it's really busy already. Got 25 people waiting at the moment as I start this live stream. So thank you so much everybody for being here. So very busy chat as well. I see. I've been sitting here watching you all conversing with one another, so that's absolutely great to see, isn't it? So we're going to be here until 5 o'clock. We're very shortly going to have a look at what's happening with Tropical Storm Cristobal. So we'll have a look at that very quickly. I think it's just about making landfall now on the Louisiana coast. We're also going to have a look at latest observations. We'll have a look at the ECM ensembles for the next 10 days and 2 weeks, and we'll have a look at CANSIPS and CFS V2 for the winter of 2021. Excuse me. So it's going to be a busy old stream, this one, and yeah, we're going to be having a lot to discuss. Of course, I'll be taking some of your questions as well. I've got a very busy chat, so I probably won't be able to take everybody's questions, but I'll take as many as I can. Super chat is enabled for this live stream, as is Streamlabs. So if there's something you desperately want answering, you can have your question flagged up, and that would be absolutely great to do that. And then I'll see it, so you'll definitely get an answer then. Otherwise, just a case of scrolling down through the chat and having a look at as many questions as I can. We're shooting up to nearly 40 concurrent viewers after 2 minutes, so thank you so much everybody for being with us. Now, I did say that on this stream I would start enabling the webcam a little bit. So shall I turn the webcam on? Would you like me to do that? I did it yesterday for the channel members live stream for the first time. So let's see how this goes. So here we go. There we go, the webcam is enabled for this Sunday afternoon live stream. So hello and good afternoon to all of you. Thank you so much for being with us this afternoon. When I'm doing the screen share sections, I'll probably take the webcam off. Savvy is moderating the chat today, so if everybody can say thank you so much to Savvy, and give Savvy a thumbs up for moderating our live chat today, that would be absolutely great. Thank you so much, Savvy, for doing that. Right, let's see what you're saying then. So the reason I don't normally have the webcam on for this is that actually what I'm doing here, Gals Web Vis Towers, isn't all that interesting, really. I'm just sort of peering up the screen to try and see what you're saying. And sometimes I do have to take the glasses off because my eyesight isn't all that good. You all know what happened with my eyes a few years ago, having the shingles and that. So my eyesight isn't all that good. So I'm just peering up the screen most of the time, trying to see what you're saying. So that's the reason I don't normally have the webcam on. But I thought, why not sort of start enabling it just a little bit more with some of the live streams, just to kind of make the live streams a little bit more interesting. But sometimes I might have to pull the glasses down a little bit or take them off because I do have a job to focus. We're up to 50 people right now, so hello. Thank you so much everybody for tuning in this afternoon. Right, so let's have a look at some of your comments then. And we've got Ibby with us saying, how's it going, Gas? I'm having a great day, Ibby. Hope you're having a lovely time too. Sane is with us as well, so good afternoon, Sane. Thank you so much for being with us. Luke and Callum Turley are with us, so good afternoon both. Thank you so much for being with us this afternoon. Michael Dunn is with us saying hi, Gas. So good afternoon, Michael. Thank you so much for being with us this afternoon. Alpha SB is with us, so good afternoon, SB. Thank you for being with us on our live stream this afternoon. I hope you're having a lovely afternoon. Michael Dunn is saying, is the weather to get hot again? I know GFS backed away from the idea, but I think they're not reliable. Check out today's Gals Web is Sunny Roundup, Michael. We are seeing signs of high pressure, perhaps bringing in some warmer easterly winds. It's a possibility, but it's a very complicated weather pattern. I think it's a reason that Mars have been struggling so very much over the past few, days. They've been really struggling, swinging wildly with different solutions and different scenarios. And I think the basic reason for that is just that we are looking at a very unusual pattern. So it could warm up, it might warm up, but it's certainly not guaranteed to. We might just get quite a lot of warm rain rather than cold rain. Also, Luke is saying, not sure about hot weather yet, Michael. So, no, I'm not sure about it either, Luke. Also, we've got Reggie Bosquet with us saying, hello, everyone. So, good afternoon, Reggie. Thank you for being with us on our live stream this afternoon. So we've also got Iceman with us as well. So good afternoon, Iceman. Saying it's cloudy and damp here in Northamptonshire. Currently 30 degrees. Yes, it has been pretty damp here today, hasn't it, Iceman? It has been a pretty damp sort of afternoon. So yes, it's not a very inspiring day for June, to say the least. Moving down the chat, we've also got, if I can have a look one, two more, Michael Dunn is with us saying good afternoon, mods and everyone on the chat. So yes, Michael is with us as well. Sally saying it's 16 degrees where he is in North Wales. Adrian Major is with us. So good afternoon, Adrian. Saying afternoon, Gav. Hi, also good afternoon, Adrian. Thank you so much for being with us this afternoon. Iceman asking who got thunderstorms. Yes, I had some rumbles of thunder. I was doing a channel members live stream yesterday, and it went very, very dark. I actually had to get up and turn the lights on during the middle of the live stream, which it's a little bit different because normally I don't move when I'm doing these videos and whatnot. So for the first time in 8 years, I actually stood up and walked in a video yesterday in a live stream. But yeah, it got really dark, and there were some rumbles of thunder in there as well. So yes, definitely some big showers around yesterday. So have a look at one, two more. We've got Lucas saying, Gav, how much rain could we be expecting in Malvern during the next week? It's going to be reasonably dry tomorrow and Tuesday through most parts of the country. Should be quite a bit of dry weather tomorrow and Tuesday, but after that, sort of heavy showers breaking out or longer spells of rain Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I think, is the basic idea. How much rain? Very difficult to say because it is a complicated weather pattern that we are in with this. So I expect a lot of the rain is going to be quite showery, maybe even a little bit thundery. So some places will probably get quite a lot of rain in the second half of this week. Other places will probably not get all that much rain. What we are seeing, I think, is for a trend for Scotland, for the north, to be generally drier and warmer the more southern areas. So that's a little bit unusual. But in terms of pinpointing how much rain there's actually going to be, that's a little bit difficult. Sally is asking, what are your thoughts about the rest of June? I think we're probably going to be unsettled up to the middle of the month, probably even beyond the middle of the month. I suspect we will be quite unsettled up to and maybe beyond the middle of the month. I would suspect sometime, I'm looking for the summer forecast to be on track. So I'm looking for one very warm spell of weather, either last 10 days, maybe the final week of the month. If we get one push from the Azores high some point through this June, then I think that will be pretty good news for the summer forecast. We know that one of our leading analogue years was 1990, which had a very uninspiring June. It wasn't a particularly good June at all, and then the rest of the summer really picked up a lot. So in terms of summer forecast, I'm not overly concerned about what's going on at the moment with this unsettled weather, given that 1990 was a leading analogue year. If we get to the end, so I'm thinking that we probably get something quite a lot drier and warmer, maybe a little bit of a heat wave at some point in the last week to 10 days or last week of the month. If we get to the end of June and we go into July and we haven't seen any sign of the Azores high and we're still in a cool and unsettled pattern, then that will be perhaps times to get a little bit more worried about the summer forecast. If we get into early July and we've seen no signs of any sort of warm weather. But at the moment, I'm not particularly concerned, Savvy, and I do think that we will see the weather getting quite a bit better, hopefully, in the last week or so of month. It could happen before then. It could happen very, very quickly, given the uncertainty with the pattern that we've got at the moment. We've got 60 people with us right now, so hello and good afternoon to all of you. Thank you so much, everybody, for being with us this afternoon. Okay, look at one or two more, and then I think we'll probably pop over to National Hurricane Centre Centre, see what's going on with Tropical Storm Cristobal. So I'm going to scroll down the chat. Alpha SB is saying that she thinks it's going to be most of June will stay wet. So SB thinks it's going to be unsettled for the rest of June. I'm hoping we'll see something a little bit drier in the last week or so, SB. James Hunt is saying, hi Gav, I have a feeling we're going to get a cool and cloudy summer this year, but not a washout like 2007 or 2012. I mean, it's possible, James. We're certainly due a poor summer. Obviously, if it happens, then Gav's Worthy's summer forecast is well and truly down the pan. But we are due a poor summer. We haven't had a really atrocious summer since 2012, I don't think. 2015 was quite bad, but 2015 did at least have one very, very brief hot spell, end of June, beginning of July 2015. Otherwise, the summer was quite bad. But I think our last absolutely atrocious summer, our last really terrible summer, was probably 2012, which is now 8 years ago. So we are probably overdue a really atrocious summer, actually. More so than a hot summer, because we've had 2018, and last summer was pretty good as well. We had 2013, that was a very good summer. So we're more overdue an atrocious summer than a hot summer, actually. So you could be right. You could be underplaying how bad it's going to be. But obviously, if we do have that sort of washout type thing with northern blocking and low pressure getting plunged over us and sort of just sitting there, then obviously that will be pretty bad news for the Cavs weather midsummer forecast. I'm hoping not. Dylan Holbrook is with us saying, afternoon Gav and everybody, how are you all? It's been raining non-stop in South Essex since around 1:15. I think the ground's thirst is definitely beginning to be quenched. Yeah, well, it's been pretty damp here. It hasn't been continuous rain, but it's certainly been quite damp here, Dylan. It's been a pretty damp old day, and it's currently dry but overcast. But the gardens really need it. My garden needs it. Everybody's gardens need it. So it's good really when it's happening, but it would be nice if it was just a little bit warmer, I suppose. Thank you so much for being with us and tuning in to our live stream. Thank you everybody for being with us. We're hovering around 63 concurrent viewers, so that's absolutely great. Thank you so much, everyone. Philip is with us saying, afternoon everyone, afternoon Gab, been okay in Shropshire, only a few breezy periods. So it looks like the rain's further south then, Philip. Thank you so much for being with us this afternoon. And we've also got Jamie with us as well, so good afternoon, Jamie. Have a look, one, two more. Sharky Train is with us. So, good afternoon, Sharky Train. Thank you so much for being with us. Sharky saying, all right, Gab, all right, everyone. So, yeah, I'm absolutely fine. Thank you so much for being with us. Aiden Majid is with us. So, good afternoon, Aiden. And also, our good friend Richard Trott is with us as well. So, Richard's saying, afternoon, everyone. Hope you're all well. Did you see Richard's fantastic GIF for the autumn updates? The colours are just absolutely phenomenal on Richard's GIF. So thank you so much, Richard, for sending that one through. You'll be seeing that every week when we do the autumn updates. But I think that's one of the best that Richard has done. I absolutely love the colours in Richard's GIF. So thank you so much, Richard. We're up to 71 viewers now. So good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. Very shortly, we're going to have a look at some data from the National Hurricane Centre and see what's going on with Tropical Storm Cristobal. I think it's pretty much on the Gulf Coast of the US right now. And then around 5:30, maybe a little bit after that, we'll have a look at what's going on with CANSIPS and CFS Winter for the winter of 2020-2021 as well. So I'm going to scroll down the chat, just have a look at one or two more. And then I think we'll be pretty much ready to start doing some screen sharing. So it's so busy in the chat. Thank you so much, everybody, for getting involved. It's really, I'm always blown away by how busy these live streams get. We're building up a following. We're building up an audience week by week. These live streams are getting bigger. So thank you so much, everybody, for being with us. So actually, I think what we'll do is we'll leave it there probably with the live chat. I'll come come back to it in a moment. I just want to show what's happening at the National Hurricane Center with Cristobal. So I'm going to, for this section, when I've got the screen capture up, I think I'll turn off the webcam, actually. So for just a moment, we'll turn off the webcam, and instead we'll also turn off the image, and we shall start display capturing. And we'll just have a very, very quick look at what's going on at the National Hurricane Center. So there is the current position of Cristobal. Cristobal is currently just off the Gulf Coast of the US, but it's basically hit where it was expected to. It's hit on the Louisiana coast. Cristobal is currently giving maximum sustained winds of 50 miles per hour with a central pressure of 994 millibars. Looking at the warnings and static images, we can see that what's forecast happening with this is that it will stay as a tropical storm as it moves northwards into southern parts of the state of Louisiana. It's going to become a tropical depression then as it pushes further northwards from Louisiana to like Oklahoma, and then it's going to go further north, and it goes a long way north actually, this as a post-tropical depression. So it's still a tropical depression actually as it gets to the state of Illinois next to the Great Lakes, which is a long way north for this to be a tropical depression. It goes post-tropical as it gets up to Canada. And I suspect how far north this is going, it must be going up to jet stream level, like the northern arm of the jet. So I would suspect that actually, although this might not impact us directly as an area of low pressure, I would suspect that this is probably responsible in some ways for a lot of the uncertainty we've been seeing within the model output. I wouldn't be at all surprised at all if Cristobal has played quite a big part in the chopping and changing that we've been seeing within the model output over the past few days. You know how the GFS, like on Thursday, I mean ECM2 actually on Thursday, was going for a heat wave and then sort of dropped the idea. The ECM dropped it on Friday, GFS dropped it yesterday. I suspect Cristobal has played quite a big part in that, with how far north this is going. So just have a quick look at the forecast of the GFS. So we're at Wetter Central with this. There is the position of Cristobal just there off the coast of the Gulf Coast, so moving into Louisiana and also the state of Mississippi as well. Let's have a look at precipitation actually. That'll show it up a little bit better, perhaps. So you can see how extensive the rain is with Cristobal. It really does stretch like from eastern parts of Texas, the Gulf Coast of Texas, all the way over to the Florida Panhandle, as National Hurricane Center were telling us it was going to. So you can just see how extensive the rain is with this, but particularly its focus like on the eastern side of Cristobal. So from the state of Louisiana right way over to towards the Florida Panhandle. That is where the worst of the rain is. It's less so on the western side of this storm. And I suppose the strongest winds are probably wrapped around the eastern and northern side of this feature as well. Right, so let's just have a quick look at what Cristobal is doing in a couple of days. So in a couple of days' time, let's have a look at 24 hours actually. Let's have a look at 12 hours. So that's how it's looking in around 12 hours' time. Yes, again, very significant hit around the states of Louisiana to Mississippi. Lots of heavy showers and thunderstorms elsewhere. Those vibrant colours really do indicate some very, very torrential rain indeed. And then we go on like to Monday. We see Cristobal is starting to move inland there. The intensity of the rain is still there. So very torrential rain pushing northwards. It's still there really as we go through into Tuesday. And then it carries on moving a long way north. It pushes a long way north and goes as subtropical, but there it is pushing up towards Canada, for example, the Canadian border by the time we get through to Wednesday. And then it's into Canada as we get through into Thursday. So it leaves America, goes up to Canada. Excuse me. And again, this is getting a very, very long way north. So it almost certainly is having some impacts, I think, on the overall northern hemispheric pattern, and probably explains some of the chopping and changing that we've been seeing over the past, over the past few days with the model runs. By the time we get through to the end of this week, it looks like it's just a sort of standard area of low pressure over Canada, but still producing quite a bit of rain. Okay, so that's brought everybody up to date with what's going on with Cristobal. So what I'll do now is take that away, and we'll put the image back up, and I'll put the webcam back up as well. So there I am, back. And we'll go back to YouTube and we'll answer one or two more of your questions. Thank you so much, everybody, for being with us this afternoon. We've got 72 concurrent viewers right now. So really, really amazing. As I say, the audience with this is getting bigger every time. We're just edged up to 75 viewers. The audience with this is getting bigger every week. So we're growing with our live streams, and thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. By the way, it's Subscribe Sunday, so if you haven't subscribed to Gaz Weatherby's YouTube channel yet, please can you subscribe. We're trying to get to 7,000 subs by the end of summer. Will we be able to? I don't think we'll be able to do it, but it would be nice if we could. But it's Subscribe Sunday, so yes, if everybody can give a sub, then that'd be absolutely great. In around 10 minutes, we'll do some more screen sharing, have a look at the observations from XC Weather. We shall have a look at the options on the table within the ECL ensembles, and I expect what a lot of people are waiting for, have a look at CANSIPS and CFS data for the winter of 2020-21. Okay, let's roll down the chat then. Sharky Train is complimenting me on my hair. There's a story behind that, Sharky, that I can't go into. But if you pop over to the Gavin Partridge channel, you will see a couple of videos I did on the vlog about it. So have a look. I won't go into it right now, but there is a story behind what's happened with the hair. Josh White is with us saying, hey Gav, hi everyone. Hope you're all okay. So I'm absolutely fine, Josh. Thank you so much for being with us this afternoon. Alan Jones is with us saying, hi Gavin, do you think North Pacific sea surface temperatures can affect UK summer? Notice PDO was much colder during washout summers of 2007-2012. Not sure, Alan, actually, about the connection between the warm PDO and UK summer weather. So we know there probably is a connection between PDO being warm and UK winter weather. It seems to coincide when the PDO is warm. It seems to coincide with somewhat warmer winters at times. Although, having said that, like the 1980s was a warm PDO period, and we had a lot of cold winters in the 1980s. So these things are not certain. But as far as the summer is concerned, I'm unsure, actually, if there would be a connection between the warm PDO and better UK summers. It's possible that there is, but I would need to do a little bit more research about that. Generally, in the summer, a lot of the really big drivers of the weather don't play as much of a role as they do in the winter, and that's what makes summer forecasts. Actually, it seems a little bit perverse. A lot of people expect that winter will be the hardest season to forecast for, but a lot of the time, actually, it's summer that's the hardest season to forecast for. And the reason for that is that many of the great drivers of the weather, like ENSO, like the QBO, and that they don't have as great impact in the summer as they do in the winter. So it does mean makes it a lot harder to forecast in the summer, actually. But I'd have to do more research. So with that, I'd say it's possible that there is a connection, but I'm unsure. And I suspect what happened in 2007 in particular would have been more related to the very quick flip into La Nina that happened through 2007. We had a really quick flip into La Nina, so I suspect that was more pivotal. But of course, the La Nina probably also connects to the cold PDO, so where does one thing end and one thing begin? It's an interesting question. Definitely needs more research. Right, let's have a look at one or two more. So, James Hunty saying, do you think we're going to get a poor summer because of strengthening La Nina? It is a little bit of a worry, James, to see La Nina getting as strong as it is. So in Gaz Weatherby's Sunny Round, I'm not sure if you've seen it yet, but we looked at the sea surface temperatureometers from last week to this week, and we have seen quite a significant drop again in the temperature over the week. So the CFS, though, is only going for like a weak La Nina. It's only going weak, but to me it looks like it's being a little bit underplayed at the moment with CFS and some of the longer range models. So I would say it is a bit concerning No more than that at this stage, because it's still relatively early on. We may see the La Nina starting to pull up. We may see it, these week-on-week temperature declines reducing and stopping. So it may not snowball, but it is a little bit concerning the way week by week we're very quickly seemingly getting quite a significant La Nina signature. So we'll see. Certainly going to need to keep a close eye on it. And as I said when I did the summer forecast, it is the big unknown about this summer, and it's definitely the thing that could go really badly wrong with this summer. If we start to see the La Nina really take off and snowball, then we start thinking about summers like 1988. We start thinking about summers like 1998. We start thinking about summers like that. So it is concerning, and I can't say any more than that because we've got to see how it pans out. We've got 80 concurrent viewers with us right now, so hello, good afternoon, and thank you so much everybody for being with us on our live stream this afternoon. Shiram is asking, hello Gavin, do you know why the ECQBO in recent years has struggled? Has this contributed towards strong zonal winds in recent winters, which have been mild? It's a good question, Shiram. So did everybody see the QBO section in Gav's Weather's Sunny Roundup? I did a bit of an extended period with that, more than I would normally do. I like to do around 2 to 3 minutes on most of the things that we look at and then move on. But with that one, I went over 5 minutes with it. I think could have been 6 or 7 minutes, maybe even more. Not sure. I haven't played the video back, but it was quite a long section that I did about the QBO, and it's definitely struggling. We can say that definitively. This ECQBO is definitely struggling. It's possible we're even going to get a failure of the easterly QBO, but I think it's too early to say that. As I established within Gav's Weather Study Roundup, we did see one example in 1988 and 1989 where the QBO for around 9 or 10 months actually struggled to get going. So we may not see a failure of the ECQBO like we did at 2016. I'm still expecting that at some point the ECQBO will probably power up. But it is something to ponder about why the ECQBO is struggling so much. And I don't think anybody knows the answer to that. I mean, when the ECQBO failed, it coincided with the Super Nino of 2015-16. So everybody assumed that, it's just like the Super El Nino at work. And it was going to be a one-off, something that happened with the Super El Nino. But if we was to get a failure of the ECQBO again this time, when we don't have anything like a Super Nino, in fact, if anything, we're going towards a weak La Nina, if that was to happen, then we would all be left scratching our heads and wondering, what's causing this. So yes, definitely, it's something to ponder. And of course, we'll be keeping a close eye on the QBO in any case. Up to 88 concurrent viewers. So thank you so much, everybody, for being with us this afternoon. I hope you're enjoying our live stream this afternoon. As far as the other part of the question, has it contributed towards zonal winds? Again, I don't really say that. We had quite a strong easterly QBO during winter 2017-18. That had the beach from the east, of course. So I mean, we know that the westerly QBO tends to coincide with milder and warmer winters. So last winter was a westerly QBO, had a westerly QBO, so probably there is a connection there, but there are other drivers at work too. 90 concurrent viewers, big thank you to everybody for being with us this afternoon. I think this is our most watched live stream that we've done yet, for this season anyway, so big thank you to everybody for being with us. Don't forget to give us a like on the video, give us a thumbs up, let YouTube know that you've enjoyed and you are enjoying the live stream. In a couple of minutes, we're going to have a look at some observational data, have a look at the options around the table within the ECM ensembles, and we're also going to have a look at CANSIPS and the CFS for winter 2020-21. Talking of that, we're going to have the NAO forecast next Sunday. It's going to have its global release across the internet. The winter 2020-21 NAO forecast will be released on all Gav's Weather channels next Sunday, the 14th of June. It's going to be a very, very pivotal day. It's always one of the busiest days of the year at Gav's Weather. There won't be any other videos on Sunday next week. Won't be doing an autumn update. We won't be doing Gav's Weather Sunny Round either, because I want to give the NAO forecast time to sort of to bed in about doing anything else. We will do a live stream though. There will be a live stream where I'm sure people have quite a lot of questions about that NAO forecast. So that will be next Sunday. I think that will be a very, very, very interesting live stream indeed. Right, moving down. Mark Kanish, you say also Gavin, you said about possible failure of the QBO. That really would be another bad one for 2020. It's already been a strange year, hasn't it? So yeah, if we did have another failure of the EasyQBO, I'm not expecting that we will, but if we did, then honestly that would be pretty bad. Very strange, let's say. So Weather Michael is saying, sorry, I'm 5 minutes late. So I'm really behind with the live chat, aren't I? Yeah, 5 minutes, no problem, Michael. Just thank you so much for being with us. I better move down the chat. So I'm really sorry for anybody that's going to get their questions missed out. I'm really sorry about that. But again, it's so busy in the chat. It's absolutely amazing to see how these are growing and developing. So it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much, everybody, for being with us. I'm scrolling down through the chat and seeing what I've missed. So I've missed loads and loads of comments, but again, I'm really sorry about that. Kevin Barber saying, good afternoon, everybody. Hope your Sunday is going better than the peak ton weather. It's been mainly dry in North Essex with the odd spit of rain. Somebody else was saying been wet in South Essex though, so not been far away from you, Kevin. So thank you for being with us though on our live stream this afternoon. Adrian, major really heavy rain about an hour ago in Gloucestershire. So yeah, we've had pretty damp weather. Adrian Cruiser is saying, hi Gav, looking forward to in near future your detailed Gav's classics look back on one bank holiday to the winter and spring 2019-20. Yeah, I'm sure we'll be doing a historic video at some point. Cruiser, I'm sure we'll be doing a historic video at some point about the last winter and also this spring as well. Shiram is asking, will we get a run of cold winter soon? Again, it's unknowable, Shiram. It's much too unknowable. I would sort of focus on trying to get one winter. And if we was to get one cold winter, and if we was to get a run, if we was to get a run of cold winters, that would be a bonus. So City Andy is with us saying, if EasyQBO fail, then surely the Westerly can also fail. Would you agree? It's possible. I mean, the QBO should be very, very reliable. Should be like a pulse. It just goes from one phase to another phase to another phase to another phase, as far as we know. But bear in mind, we've only been registering and recording the QBO since the 1950s. Before 1950, nobody actually knew that the QBO existed, I don't think. There is data online that sort of reanalyzes the QBO before 1950, but for reliable observational data for the QBO, it only goes from the 1950s, which is a relatively short time frame. That's the same with the AO and the NAO and all of those indexes as well, really. Excuse me. So, yes, I think, as far as we know, the QBO should be very reliable and should oscillate like a pulse or like a heartbeat that goes from one phase to another. But we've only recorded it since the 1950s, so it's possible that this isn't as unusual as we think it is. Ali Ashi saying, sorry, but I want to ask you a question. What will winter be next season in the Eastern Mediterranean Sea? It's much too early to say, Ali. Much too early to say about that, I'm afraid. So we won't have any sort of clear idea about winter, not even for the UK, never mind the rest of Europe, until much later on in the year. So we're going to release our NAO forecast, winter 2021. Next Sunday, so you'll be able to see that. It's looking at whether the NAO could be positive or negative next winter, but in terms of exact detail, it's way too early to say. Right, we're still over 80 viewers. Thank you so much for everybody being with us. And right now, we're going to start doing that screen capturing that I'm sure you've all been waiting for. So, once again, I'm going to turn off the webcam. We'll turn the webcam off and the image. We'll start screen capturing again. And this time we're going to go to xcweather.co.uk. And these are our latest observations. We'll zip through these very quickly. So, warmest weather is in the west at the moment. So in East Airs, it's pretty cold. We've got Marham there at 11 degrees. If we go further northwards, we've got Leconfield at 11 degrees, and moving north to Teesside, just 11 there. We're going further northwards to Bulmer, it's only 11 degrees there. So down the east side, it's pretty cool. Go further westwards though, southwestwards, it's quite a lot warmer. So down on the south coast, Southampton is at a very pleasant 19 degrees, and we've also got Yeovilton, 19 degrees as well. Going further northwards, Shobden is at 18 degrees. And moving up to North Wales, we've got Rhyl at 16. So definitely Wales, southwestern England, southwest Midlands, it's a lot better. There must be a lot more sunshine out that way. In Midlands, Church Lawford is at 14, and Nottingham is at 12. Southwestern Scotland, Glasgow is at 18 degrees, and Aviemore is at just 8 degrees. Belfast is at 13. So it's pretty warm. Well, not warm, but I suppose it's nearer to normal across Wales, southwest England, southwest Midlands. It is very cool in the north and the east. Far north of Scotland shows Lossiemouth at just 9 degrees. Really poor temperature there. These are the options on the table within the ECM ensembles today for day 10 by the Icelandic Met Office. This is getting us to the 17th of June. We've got two options on the table. We have 31 members of the ECM ensembles. This top left-hand red box just here that have high pressure up towards Scandinavia, low pressure out to southwest, and we're bringing like a south to southeasterly wind in with that. So relatively warm, probably, but also could be a little bit unsettled, maybe even a little bit thundery with that low pressure out to southwest. It'd be a warm, humid, southerly southeast wind. The other option is 20, which is quite a significant minority. 20 in this middle pink box have a ridge from the Atlantic through the UK to northern Europe. So obviously that's the driest option of the two. Would be very pleasant, probably not quite as warm and humid as this option, interestingly. Although this option is wetter, it's probably warmer and more humid, I would have thought. But this is very pleasant with a nice ridge through the country. That would be proper summer conditions. If we look at 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got. So this gets us to the 22nd of June. And it's only one option, actually. 51 out of 51 members of the ECM ensembles in this pink box here, showing a ridge quite close to the country. Beyond that, we can't say much more. But again, the idea is still there, but as we go further on into June, the models, well, the ECM ensembles anyway, playing around with the possibility, at least, of some higher pressure. And that's what I'm expecting to see in terms of gas weather's summer forecast. It's reason I'm not overly concerned about the gas weather's summer forecast at this stage, because I have a feeling we will probably find our way back towards higher pressure later on in the month. But of course, if we get to the end of June, haven't seen any prolonged or protracted period of dry and warm weather, then the summer forecast will be in a little bit of trouble. But at the moment, I'm not overly concerned. Right, this is what a lot of you have been waiting for, I suspect, then. So, CANSIPS updated a few days ago. Updates on the first day of the month, I think, actually. So these are the mean sea level pressure anomalies from CANSIPS. As I say, this updated on the 1st of June. We'll start in July. Remember, don't worry about where we've got the H's and the L's, the highs and the lows. Don't take those particularly seriously. What you need to concentrate on this is with the colours. So blue is lower, the deeper the blue, the lower the pressure. And the more intense the red, the higher the pressure, really. So with this, for July, we can see that there is a little bit of blue over the country. You make this out okay, and across much of northern Europe. So CANSIPS, this is from TrobledTidbits.com, by the way, forgot to mention that. So for July, CANSIPS is going for a rather unsettled sort of month, really, for much of northern Europe, and the UK is including that, rather cool and unsettled July. August looks a little bit better. Notice the colours going a little bit redder in August. So that's the best month of the summer, if that's right. Probably not the hot August that we was thinking about within the summer forecast as a possibility. But that's better than July, because the colours are going slightly redder. So yes, I think August does look reasonable. Should be a fair amount of dry and pleasant weather with that anyway. September looks really anticyclonic. A large area of high pressure being indicated there, with those deep red colours. So September going a lot drier and probably really warm as well, actually. Extended summer. October, again, we're edging towards higher pressure. The pressure isn't as high in October as it is in September, so it could be a more unsettled month to some degree. But overall, I think that's, again, indicating a relatively anticyclonic month with those sort of reddish colours. Then we go through to November, so that's what CANSIPS is showing for November. At this point I should probably stop, but we will go on into the winter months as well. As I say, please bear all of this with all of these charts I'm showing you in these live streams for the winter. Please do bear in mind that we are a very, very long way out, and I shouldn't really be showing you any of this stuff for like the end of the year and for next winter. But when I decided to do these live streams at the start of the dreadful coronavirus outbreak, I said we would use the live stream to have a little bit of fun and you know, to have a good time if we could, while everything was so bad. So that's the reason that I'm showing you this data still. But really I shouldn't be showing you it. But just do please bear in mind that you know, it's all to be taken with a pinch of salt. It's all just for fun. So for November, we've got higher pressure to our south, lower pressure is to the north. So again, looking quite anticyclonic. It looks like it's an anticyclonic autumn, been indicated by CANSIPS, and probably quite a warm, mild autumn as well. That's December. So this is how December 2020 is looking with CANSIPS. Quite interesting, actually. We've got a mid-Atlantic ridge being suggested there with all those red colours in the mid-Atlantic. Lower pressure to our north has come over here across Scandinavia. So it could be pulling down some cold shots from the northwest, actually. That it's not a classic cold month. There's no northern blocking. So there's no sign of genuine northern blocking. But it could be a month that has cold snaps in it anyway. That's December. But look at January. Look away now if you want a cold winter. Thankfully, it's only for fun. But this is like last winter. So look at all that red that we've got here through the mid-Atlantic. That's the Azores High, of course. Deep blue over Greenland. That's the polar vortex. Well and truly back in business. So westerly is unleashed there with CANSIPS for January. Very mild and wet month being signalled with that one. And then March looks like that. So February, I should say, looks like that. Still unsettled. We do lose the strong zonal signal. We lose the Azores highs. But it's still westerly. It's still low pressure driving in off the Atlantic. So January, February 2021 looking very similar to January, February 2020. And the last month we'll go to is March. And then we start getting northern blocking appearing. We've got deep red colours over Greenland in March. So obviously that could be a lot colder and more wintry. But again, that's so far out that really it's just for fun. But yeah, definitely like for January and February anyway, CANSIPS doesn't look very inspiring at all this month for anyone who wants a cold winter. I will show you CFS very quickly. In a moment, I'll go back to YouTube and see what you're saying for the last 15 minutes or so of the video. But I just wanted to very quickly go through these. So this is how the CFS is looking for June. Hope you can see this okay. So June, going for high pressure to our northwest, low pressure kind of to our south and southeast. So looking wet and quite unsettled, particularly more southern areas in June. This is July, looking quite a lot more anticyclonic, high pressure over Scandinavia in July. It's going to be like a mini CFS 6-month look ahead done in a couple of minutes. So this is going to be fun. High pressure over Scandinavia. A lot of dry and quite warm weather with that one. This is August. This will be very good for the Gauss summer forecast. Look at that nice area of high pressure sitting over and to the east. Just a big ridge and bring in really warm easterly winds. So CFS today, 700 height anomaly is looking kind of 1990s with the dodgy June, the better July, and potentially a really good August. That's September. We flip into something a lot more unsettled in September. Low pressure is in off the Atlantic in September. So yes, that's much more unsettled, wetter month. October, back to high pressure, sitting over to the south country. That could be like an Indian summer for October. High pressure sort of over to the east will probably draw up warm southerly winds. So that's kind of That's kind of an Indian summer type thing after a cool, wet September. And then finally, November. Look what CFS is doing with November. Building up a large area of blocking heights around Greenland, or just south of Greenland, and the mid-Atlantic ridge. So for November, there's cold and wintry potential with that. It's 6 months away, so it won't verify, or very unlikely to verify. But today, CFS does look quite cold and wintry for November, with the low pressure kind of to the east of us, and yeah, that could well bring some early winter weather to Northern Europe. The UK could be included in that. And what about the seasonal data? So we can have a very quick look at that. In a moment, I'm going to go back to YouTube and see what you've all been saying, and we'll take a few more questions for the last 15 minutes. So this, as far as we can get to with like the 3 monthlies with CFS at the moment, is to this, and it's November, December, January. So we can't get to the full winter period yet, but for November, December, January, it looks quite interesting. Actually, kind of like what it's showing for November, really, with again a mid-Atlantic ridge, quite a bit of blocking within the northern latitudes, where we've got all of this yellow and orange in the northern latitude. That's quite a bit of northern blocking, and there is like a trough over and to the east of the country, which could pull in cold northerly, northeasterly type winds. If we looked at the temperature anomalies, I'm sure the CFS would be forecasting mild weather non-stop through November and into winter as well, because it always does. But yeah, I think in terms of height anomalies, not too bad at all for anyone who wants a cold winter. So we've got CANSIPS on the one side, looking pretty brutal for those that like a colder winter, or would like a colder winter. But the CFS doesn't look too bad at all for anyone who, at the moment, doesn't look too bad at all for anyone who wants something a little bit more seasonal this winter. Hope you enjoyed that section of the live stream. I'll go back to YouTube right now and see what you have been saying about that. Please remember, everybody, that all of this is just for fun. It's not to be relied upon at all. So I just hope that you all enjoyed that. But take it for what it is, which is for fun, and we shouldn't take that too seriously, really. Okay, right, so let's see what you've all been saying. So we're hovering around 87 concurrent viewers. Thank you so much, everybody, for being with us this afternoon. That's absolutely great. Thank you so much. So it's been a really, really busy chat today. So I'm going to scroll back up and have a look at one or two more of your comments. Excuse me. Again, got a little bit of a tickle in the throat today. So, just to say that next week, by the way, we're going to be, we'll be discussing the NAO forecast primarily, of course, for next Sunday's live stream. But what we'll also be doing is having a Patal Pens analogues for Winter 2020-21. I think we'll have Patal Pens analogues in next Sunday, for next Sunday's live stream. That could be a really, really interesting live stream, I can guarantee that. Okay, so I saw we've got Katrine Baso with us, so thank you so much, Katrine, for being with us on our live stream today. So we've also got Cam Turley saying it was his birthday last week and it was lovely weather. Happy birthday for last week. Callum, we've got Brent 2029 saying this June is going to be a lot cooler than last June here in Belgium. Even if we get some hot weather, last year we broke a new heat record of 41 degrees. Wow, that's very impressive. But we did have a lot of big heat spikes, didn't we, last summer? So I'm not overly surprised that happened. When Michael's saying, a heads up, some showers breaking out across parts of West Midlands and North West England. Can't rumble of thunder with these. Good luck, Michael, getting a bit of a rumble of thunder. We had a few rumbles here in Northants yesterday, as I said earlier on. Moving down the chat, so we've got Adrian saying lovely sunshine out in Gloucestershire. Sally saying Polar Vortex of Doom version 2. Yes, that definitely right, Sally, from that CANSIPS mean sail pressure anomaly. Eddie Lazowski saying, man, I'm sick of mild winters. Oh dear, Eddie, let's hope we can get something a little bit more seasonal for you for this winter. Jamie saying December no longer blocking, but still 6 months away, so we're high breath. Yeah, we just do miss for fun. Please remember that, everybody, that those charts we saw for the longer range should not be taken overly seriously at all. So the reason I'm including them in the live streams, as I said, is because when we started doing the live streams at the beginning of the lockdown, and everybody was just in such a bad sort of state, and everybody was so very, very down about what was happening. I said we would have a look at this long-range stuff within the live streams to cheer everyone up and make it a little bit more interesting. But do please bear in mind, everybody, that none of that stuff for like beyond sort of September, October is to be taken seriously. The next couple of months, yes, there is merit in these models for like July and August, hopefully. But beyond that, no, don't take it seriously at all. City Andy saying the CFS will show a mild wet winter. Not necessarily, Andy. I think you posted that before we looked at the CFS, probably. But it probably does show a warm and average temperature anomaly, I would suspect, because it always does. It doesn't matter what the pattern is doing. It will always show mild, the CFS. We're going to be here for another 10 minutes, everyone, so we've got a little bit longer to go, and then we'll wrap things up at 6 o'clock, I think. Also, I saw, who did I see in the live chat? So, I saw Blue Lightning saying, hello Gav, enjoy your evening. Thank you so much, Blue, for tuning into our live stream this evening. I hope you've enjoyed it. Still hovering just under 80 concurrent viewers, so it's been a very big stream. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. Don't forget, if you haven't yet done so, to give us a like on the video. Make sure you're sub to the channel. It is Subscribe Sunday, so yes, make sure you're sub to the channel. John Cartwright is saying, hope we get a hot August. CFS is flirting with that possibility. We just saw that a moment ago, John. It's only a couple of months out, so you never know. Maybe we will. Excuse me, it would be good news for the gas weather summer forecast, of course. We've also got Shiram saying, will we get a lot of northerlies? We'll get a lot of northerlies with November to January. That's probably related to the CFS, I would have thought. Iceman saying, if only the CFS verified. So, yes, it would be quite seasonable, wouldn't it, Iceman? Matthew Hackett is with us saying, did somebody say, cold winter? My fingers are firmly crossed. We shall see. That's sort of way the CFS is edging, but we shall see. Right, so coming down, I see that we've got one or two more to say, and I'm going to wrap this up quite shortly. So, City Andy is saying, must be malfunctioning today, the CFS. Andy doesn't like the CFS, do you, Andy? You're not a fan of the CFS at all. To be fair, at one point, I think in a video of a couple of years ago, I think it was during, maybe it's during the Beast from the East or before then, I'm not sure. But at one point, I remember doing a video where I said something like the CFS is the worst model in the world or something like that, and most people agreed with me, but you know, that's it. So it's to be taken with a pinch of salt anyway, as ever with all of the longer range stuff. Anybody remembers what I actually said? I can't remember the exact phrase that I used on that video, but I did have a bit of a rant about the CFS, and most people sort of agreed with me about that. John Cartwright saying we can't. Let's have a look at that. John Cartwright is saying, I think he's saying, why can't we just get a white Christmas then go mild? Would be nice to have a white Christmas, you know, have a bit of a seasonal Christmas. We haven't had one since 2010. When we had that brutal cold, of course, during December to remember. But I'm ready for a more seasonal Christmas. I do these Christmas updates every year. And ever since I've been doing Gals Movies, I've done Christmas updates. And every year we seem to end up with a mild Christmas. It is even if you don't have a really snowy Christmas, it would be nice to just for once have a colder Christmas, wouldn't it? Have a seasonable Christmas. It doesn't necessarily have to snow, but it would be nice to have a colder feel, have some frost on the ground. and to have some Christmas updates for the end on a positive note, because all of the Christmas updates that I've done ever since I started Gals Bits in 2012, they've all been just rather mild and ended on a pretty drab note, to be honest. So yes, I agree with you about that, John. It would be very nice if we could have a colder Christmas. As also got Kevin saying, I'm running my hands together in great anticipation. So that's related to CFS, I think, Kev. So yes, we shall see, though. Okay, we're going to be here for just a couple more minutes, and then I think we'll be wrapping things up. I'm so sorry, everyone. I'm so sorry to all of those people that have got involved in the chat and asked questions and so on, and not had their questions answered. As you've seen, it's been a really busy stream. At one point, we was well over 80 concurrent viewers, I think. So it's been a very busy stream. It's been our busiest Sunday stream. It's been our busiest stream, I think, actually. Yes, I'm just so sorry for anybody that hasn't had their question answered, really. Okay, let's have a look at a couple more, and let's say then we'll be wrapping things up. So James Jukebox said, I think CFS stands for something else. I'm not going to try and work that out, James, but I suspect it's not going to be overly flattering to the CFS, is it? Cryptic 10-ton Mammoth is with us. New names. So it's always nice to see new names getting involved in the live chat. Thank you so much, Cryptic. So Cryptic 10-ton Mammoth is saying, I remember waking up in December 2010 and my door being frozen shut from how cold it got. It did get extraordinarily cold, didn't it? It is for December to remember, for a very good reason, that it was just phenomenally cold at some points through that December, and we probably won't live through another December like that in our lifetimes again, I wouldn't have thought, to be honest. Never say never with the weather, as I always say, but I'll be really surprised if I ever see a December as cold as that. It was very nearly the coldest December on the CT record, going back 1659. Richard Richard is confirming they had a CT of minus 0.7, and the coldest December on record, all the way back to 1659, was in 1890 at minus 0.8. Thank you for that, Richard. And yeah, just 0.1 of a degree, just 0.1 of a degree off being equaling the coldest December ever, back 1659, and 0.2 of a degree off beating that coldest December ever and becoming the coldest December since records began in the CET within 1659. So it was an extraordinary month, and as I say, I'd be very surprised if I live for anything like that again. If that cold snap had happened, I always say this, because you remember that it really started in the last week of November, and it ended like just after Christmas. The last really cold day was Boxing Day, and then the final closing days of December 2010 started to get milder. If that cold spell had started a couple of days later, let's say it had started in the last 3 days of November, perhaps, and gone on to New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, I think the CT record would have gone, actually. I think we would have beaten 1890, and I think we would have had the coldest December since records began in 1659. So more than anything, it's just the timings that stopped it from happening. If that cold spell had got going just a couple of days later and gone on a couple of days longer, I think we would have done it. But there we go. We got very close to it anyway. And it certainly is a remarkable month. And there is a very good reason that it is, as I say, but December to remember. Chris Ailing is telling me that we had a great live stream. So thank you, Chris, for that. Glenn Pevy, another new name. Always great to see new names in our live stream. Glenn Pevy is saying about time he had a good August. Don't remember one since 2003. We're definitely overdue a hot August, Glenn. Will 2020 deliver? We shall see. Okay, thank you so much, everybody, for being with us this evening. And I think at that point we're probably going to wrap things up. So Savvy tells us that we peaked at 93 concurrent viewers. That's absolutely amazing. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much, everybody, for being with us this evening. And as I say, 93 is incredible. It's the biggest live stream that we've done so far. These live streams are growing week by week by week. We're growing the live stream, and it's just absolutely amazing what we're doing. So Isaac's asking, is there a possibility of thundery rain in the next week or so? I think so, Isaac. I think there could be some quite heavy thundery rain in the coming few days. So we shall see how that all plays out. Right, I hope you enjoyed the live stream this afternoon. It's been absolutely fantastic, it's been really great, and we're still hovering around 80 concurrent viewers right now as we come to the end. I've never had such a response, really, with one of these live streams. So thank you everybody for being with us, and with that we'll wrap things up. So I'm just going to turn the camera off, and then I'll just sum things up, and then we'll end the live stream there. So the camera is off, and just to say that a big thank you to Savvy for moderating. I can see how busy it's been, so Savvy really had his work cut out moderating this one. So everybody say thank you to Savvy, and yeah, that's absolutely great, Savvy. Thank you so much for moderating today's live stream, and I hope it hasn't been too busy for you. So what we've got coming up in the next couple of days, you know the usual recording schedule on a Monday and a Tuesday if you're a regular Gasworthy, so I won't go through that. And then on Wednesday, we've got our next live stream on Wednesday evening from 6 o'clock. That one more focused on the shorter range. So we'll go through the GFS 12Z, we'll go through the GM 12Z as well. So that's all going to be more focused on the shorter range. And we'll probably do a late night Friday live stream as well. A lot of people seem to enjoy those. And next Sunday, it's the big one. So next Sunday, we are releasing across the internet and globally, and across all Gasworthy's channels and whatnot, we're releasing the Winter 2020-21 NEO forecast. So you'll be able to have a watch of that. Everybody will be able to have a watch of that next Sunday. So that means that there's not going to be an autumn update next Sunday. No autumn update and no Gasworthy's Sunday roundup. I just want to put the NEO forecast out and give everyone time to digest it. We will, however, do a live stream at 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon where everybody can sort of ask about the NEO forecast, and if I've got any questions, then I'll do my best to answer as many as I can. And in that live stream, I think we'll also be able to have a look at Patal Peng's analogues for the winter of 2020-21. I'm pretty sure they'll be updated by then for that live stream too. So that's coming up next Sunday. Be a really good live stream next Sunday. Okay, thank you so much, everybody, for being with us during this live stream. It's been absolutely fantastic. I've really loved this live stream. It's been absolutely great. So thank you so much, everybody, for being a part of it. Stay safe and stay well. We are coming out of the lockdown gradually, but we do still have this virus doing the rounds, and people are still being affected by it. So just stay safe and well, everyone. And we'll see you again on Wednesday at 6 o'clock. But for this live stream, that's all for now, and have a great Sunday evening. Bye for now.